All right, so knowing what we know now about parent and children components, again, we can set up the information here in the parent level, in the app level, and we can pass it down. So we don't want to pass down blob. What we want to pass down is, come on. Okay. What we want to pass down is, we can call it whatever we want to, and maybe, I don't know what we'd call it, number to show. So that I'm purposely, we obviously could call it the same thing, but number to show, and I'll say is equal to, and in this case we're going to say it's equal to the level of Go that's being tracked here at the app level in the state of the object. All right, so I save that, and it likes that just fine. Now, my dilemma is I destroyed this method. So before I do this, actually, I probably should go back. Let me do a bunch of Control Z's. We're going to go fix this back to what it was before I absolutely destroyed it. There we go. All right, so now we can come into this Go level. Let me redo what I just did. So I'm going to say the num to show, let's call it, is equal to the level of Go. Okay, so that's going to be the property that's being passed. And then here, instead of blob, we'll say props.num to show. All right, so do we feel good about that? We're calling this Go level component. We're setting a property, num to show, equal to the level of Go that's being tracked here in the state of the app component. And we'll be almost good at this point. So if I save this, our dilemma now is that the update level isn't being recognized because it's part of this state declaration here in this app component. And so how do we get that information there, right? Can we float a function? And the answer is, sure enough, we can float a function, right? Just like Pennywise, they all float. So we go in here, we drop that in, and now increment Go is a function that's in our component. But then how do we get that from where we are down to the Go button? So again, we can say something like our onClick function, and just to prove that it doesn't need to be a specific name, blah, is equal to our function increment Go that we've created. All right, so we're saying go and send this to that Go button component and pass it in this function. Now, notice there it doesn't have parentheses on it. It's not a function. It's a variable, but the variable holds a function. Okay. So then in our Go button, what's that going to look like on that end? Well, again, we're going to need to receive our props that we can just say any for now. And then in our props, as we return something, what we're going to get is we're going to return, instead of increment Go, which it doesn't recognize anymore, it's going to instead be props dot on click function blah. All right, so I save that, and then I test out my site, and sure enough, it works just like it did before. And so you're saying, why did we go to all that work then if it works just like it did before? Well, if those elements were both in the same component, then yeah, you could totally do that. But I'm trying to demonstrate here, as we move, as we're working together with all these different components on our React site to make it work, we may need a situation where we still want to track the state of something, and we want to update this and have this button and this label connected, but we have to do it by going to our parent function and declaring it at that level, and then passing properties down to the children to be updated. Or functions, in this case, down to the Go level component to update there. And so these are some of the things that when I first started messing around with React were super confusing to me. Because I just saw a program like this, and I didn't have any idea what it's doing. But hopefully by going in and just doing a little bit of this, discussion about the most what I consider, difficult elements to understand about React, and just looking at them individually, then we can jump off from here and do a lot of the things that we're more familiar with in terms of HTML and JavaScript and whatever else. All right, so that's it for the parent-children and passing properties and state. And so we have one more little example to go through, and we'll start that in the next video. Spencer out.